Just standing there looking up, arms open, like I accept it.
Little do you know, rocks stand no power against the power of the mighty Gygax.
I am Gygax Scaryson.
Fucking cars to burst through the door, throws a stick of TNT, shoots it, and says good day.
Good day. Anyways, stream is up. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. You were going to say something else before I read the intro. I will allow you to say it.
No, I was just gonna say, with an insight of 1, does Thogak think, Tarathiel's his dad?
Thogak thinks his right nostril is a portal to another dimension.
Ooh, damn. I mean...
That's impressive.
I mean, he can stick his finger
I
really
think that
far up there.
already.
It's the only explanation.
Yep. Alright, I'm ready.
Hold up, let me open all of your character sheets. Because I forgot to do that. But that is alright. You know, you think I would have been smart enough to make like a bookmark or something on them, but that's not my style.
Excuse me.
Ah, touche.
Don't talk about my tushy.
Yeah, touche. Okay, Rin, Son of Trinit, hello.
Hello.
Thogak, Wolfspeaker, and a Cathlai, hello. Where the fuck are you? Okay, there you go, hello. And, last but not least, probably, Kazura. Okay.
Hello there.
Hello. Okay! Sorry, I had to clear my throat real quick. Okay.
Tarathiel wasn't. You alright there, bud?
Oh, no, I'm fine. Just let me be. So, it's funny, because I have here last week's session. Last session might have been short, but it was still relatively impactful. For starters, the mysterious figure unmasked himself to the party, and much to your definite, unquestionable surprise, Thogak, you knew the man, or rather the elf that wore the mask. An old friend of yours named Tarathiel, who helped you search for Evelyn the first time she went missing. After a brief catch-up, he led you to the Drunken Owl via some sort of portal ring that he had and that Rhiannon had, where he revealed that he had, in fact, rescued Evelyn from the Thieves Guild on the morning of the same day that both you, Rin, and you, Thogak, arrived. Next, he led you through another peculiar portal door, which took all of you to the top of the dilapidated watchtower that looms over the city, which appeared to be his base of operations. Tarathiel then suggested a daring scheme, in which the party could both rescue the doctor from the guild, as well as perhaps steal some sort of magical weapon that seemed to be at the center of Stone's mysterious plan. As I told Keegan earlier, 2 birds with 1 stone. We open now into some sort of expedited planning montage of sorts, where we will plan the heist. So this is kind of loose, continuity is not the word, but basically, we can roleplay some of it if you want. We're not constrained to any form of time, say. Basically, everything that happens will be expedited. Say, hey, let's go scout and see what the guards are, you know, how many of them, where they are, what their possible rotations might be. Basically, what's happening there is we'll just kind of say, okay, you went and did that, you know, roll me a perception to see how well you do. That's going to take, you know, half of a day to do that kind of thing. So we're kind of into, like, this expedited format right now.
Alright.
I'm sending you the floor plans that Tarathiel has on building right now.
The first thing that Kazar is going to do is conquer the entirety of Blackbriar.
Okay, well, that's going to take approximately 4.5 months.
Okay.
Depending on your allies.
Okay. What do I roll for that?
Give me, like, intimidation at disadvantage.
Just go door to door. You serve me now.
Okay, fine!
Suffer me now!
Oh my.
Holy fuck. We've got a lot of rooms to cover.
Well, not all of them are important. That's just the building as a whole. This is basically.
We are going door to door, killing every single one.
Okay, Jesus. So this is Kazara, you would
Hey,
know
Josh,
this.
I'm having a visual issue
Yes.
with my TV. Could you do you
Facebook?
mind sending that to through my Facebook?
I could do that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no sweat. So, Kaz, you know this building as the Corvellian Complex, which served as a sort of government. Think of it like an embassy, basically, within the city. You know that the walled off section across the river is, of course, the government sector, or just the sector. I think, Rin, you know that as well, if I remember. Doc Clockwork told you about that.
I believe so.
So, that's where the
Thogak
government.
ain't no shit about
yeah,
that.
Thogak ain't no shit unless he asks. Would Thogak ask? You know
No.
what? Trathia will fill you in because it's very important. So basically, the gist of it is that the government, prior to the oh lord. Hold up, I'm having a stroke. Basically, 5 years ago, the Thieves Guild teamed up with the slums, the people in the slums, and a few of the other guilds. They kind of formed a loose militia within the city, and they took over control of the city from the government, which kind of played fast and loose, and they didn't really care about the people. They're very greedy. Essentially, what happens is the government officials seclude themselves across the river in this portion of the city that's walled off. They haven't been seen since, but there was this meeting of the guilds, and basically after they'd taken the city, by some miracle, by some chance, no one really knows, no one else was in the room where it happened, Eddard Stone got chosen as leader of the current, then it wasn't as big then, but it was the Thieves Guild, to go across the city and go across the river into the government sector of the city, and negotiate essentially terms of surrender and whatnot. He basically emerged from that sector back into the city as the new leader of the city, and he kind of launched his own slightly hostile takeover. There wasn't a lot of resistance to it at first because, I mean, the thieves at that time were people that lived in the city with everyone else. So, like, everyone was like, anything's better than the government we have now. So that's essentially how that happened. But the Corvellian complex, I just figured out how to send these pictures to you. Okay. The Corvellian complex was, before the city's downfall, the government's main office within the city itself. It was the only government building not in the sector across the river. Once the city fell to the Thieves Guild, then it became the Thieves Guild's new base of operations. Essentially, they moved out of the sewers, and there's a system of underground tunnels under the entirety of Blackbriar that they were using previously. They moved primarily out of there. There's still operations under the city, but now they operate out of the Corvellian complex. Now, this is the building that the doctor is being kept in, and it is also the building in that armory below the complex that Eddard Stone is supposedly keeping some sort of magical weapon. This is the building that your party will need to break into to both free Dr. Clockwork from prison and to also, using that prison break as a distraction, steal whatever magical weapon it is that Stone is hiding. So, if I recall correctly, when last we met, the one thing we did decide on loosely is that we would split into two teams. Rin and Thogak, you were responsible for getting the doctor out of prison and causing some sort of distraction so that Tarathiel and Kazara could break in to the vault and steal this magical weapon.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So?
Alright. Well, I mean, obviously, most certainly what I'm going to be doing is, if possible, going with Tarathiel to analyze guard rotations, guard positions, and
Okay.
any breaks in security we can find.
Yeah.
What would you like me to roll?
Okay, so... Shut up, Kelsey.
Wait, is Kelsey
No, he
talking?
sent me a message.
Oh.
You don't know how I think. Shut up. Yeah, so it will be on. I'm thinking of perception. Let me just look real quick, double check.
Hey, Kelsey, I'm gonna be sending you a Facebook message.
Okay.
Yeah, perception. Tarathiel will roll one as
Perception.
well. Oh fuck, my die. You think it'd be the most important thing to prepare for a D&D session, but it's always the one thing I forget to prepare.
Yeah,
We're not
preparing
going during
die.
daylight, are we?
That's entirely up to you. When would you want to go? You can get a pretty good view of the complex from the watchtower, but you definitely can't see the entirety of the building.
If we are going during the day, I have this advantage.
Okay. Any
But
particular reason? Because
obviously-
the sun's not going to be shining.
It's sunlight.
Yeah, but not direct sunlight. Didn't that change it?
True.
Sorry. Also, you're not entirely sure what your standing with the Thieves Guild is. But, I mean... I don't know. I mean, would you go during the day? Would you go at night? Tarathiel would probably want to go at night, just because, well...
If Tarathiel's
yeah.
recommendation is nighttime, then we're definitely going during the nighttime.
Yeah.
Kazara will, like... So, I'm thinking, Tarathiel would be, so I'm thinking about going at nighttime, and, like, as soon as he says, nah...
Great, let's go.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so nighttime,
Okay, so that'll be a 13.
I guess the real question is, and we'll hold on to that just because you don't get disadvantage. Anyways, when do you think we should? This is to everyone. When do you think the plan should take place, in the daytime or during the nighttime?
4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock.
I feel that there would be less defenses during the daytime.
That is fair.
Actually.
This is the Thieves Guild. Okay. So,
Rin?
what, like 10 a.m.?
10 a.m. could work. Tarathiel's not adverse to that.
That sounds like a plan. Yeah.
Okay. 10 a.m. So then you'd probably need to study the guard rotations during the daytime.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Tarathiel, and since we're both elves, we can definitely stay on watch a lot longer. And I think I think I'm going to recommend that we continue watching throughout the next like 2 days or so.
Yeah.
To look at guard rotations, look at the weak spots, and look at what time might be the weakest.
Okay.
So do you need me to make multiple perception checks for that, or just...
Okay, so let's think about that. So I need one perception check for the active daytime scouting. So going out and trying to figure out guard rotations. How are you observing the nighttime? Are you just watching from the perch, or are you... that's the watchtower, sorry. Are you just watching from the perch, or are you and Tarathiel actually planning on going and observing, kind of secretively?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and go and observe as best as I can.
Okay. So then give me one for daytime, give me one for nighttime. And is there anything else you want to do apart from that?
So daytime would be my first roll?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Daytime's 13,
Okay.
nighttime's 17.
Okay. Well, daytime you do get a a feel for the guard rotations. The trick is that you can't really get a good feel for them inside, but outside there's generally 2-ish guards standing at the main gate. About every 10 or so minutes, 2 guards fill in for those 2 guards, and the 2 guards that stood at the main gate walk around the perimeter, about halfway each. There's 2 guards that stand by the back of the building as well, and they kind of meet in the middle, and they kind of go on this weird rotation where they watch the gate, while the others are checking out the perimeter, and when the others get back from checking the perimeter, those 2 watch the gate, and it's kind of this cycle. So basically, there are 8 guards manning the wall as it is. You can't actually walk atop this wall, but they stand at the base of the gate and they walk around the perimeter. The good news is, Tarathiel does not think that is the way you guys should go in, unless it has something to do with Ren and Thogak. You are part of the plan, which is the prison break. So the sub-level map is really important here. Tarathiel points out that there is a...
Yeah, I don't see the I don't see the way in.
Okay, so it's on the
sub-level?
left there. Basically, that's what we're getting to. So, back when the Thieves Guild was working with the rest of the city to try and overthrow the government, they extended a large portion of their tunnels under the complex. So basically the left side there where that tunnel goes off of the screen, that is a man-dug tunnel leading under the Corvellian complex. And then the loose tunnels are the bulk of that kind of place. But basically what happened is there wasn't a sub-level to the Corvellian complex originally. It was made by the Thieves Guild when they were trying to take over. So what happened is they made the sub-level, and once they gained control, they closed off all of the entrances. They kind of like collapsed the tunnels in certain places, which on that sub-level map is where the tunnels, there's, you know, there's kind of like a round edge next to a flat edge. So all of those represent areas of the tunnel where it's been collapsed.
They bricked it off
yeah,
and shit.
Yeah, basically. So that is how Tarathiel is obviously suggesting that either one or both teams go in.
What about that one going south? What about that one going south with a flat edge? Does that lead anywhere, or is that
It
a
leads
dead end?
somewhere, but
Okay.
we don't quite
Where
know.
are the stairs?
Okay, I should have marked that off. So if you flip through the maps, there's a consistent circle in the courtyard.
Where the Millennium Falcon is.
Yeah. What? There's not. This is medieval. There's no Millennium.
I already started to.
Shut up. I had to hide one in here somewhere. Basically, what that is in actuality is a large kind of courtyard plaza area where each of the lines of the Falcon are, quote unquote, are steps. So if you can kind of imagine it like that. Basically, the best way to describe that structure is, yeah, those are steps kind of leading up. Once you get to the top of the steps, there's a bridge going over into this kind of, like, tower of sorts. That is a spiral staircase which leads down into the sub-level. So if you look at the sub-level map, there's a circle. That is where the stairs lead down.
Okay. And those are the only stairs?
Those are the only official stairs. Other than that, it's the
Okay.
tunnels, the old tunnels, and you'd have to find a way to break into the prison cells there. No matter what, Kaz, Tarathiel is suggesting that you and he go through those tunnels and break into the armory that way, because it's definitely the best way to go if you don't want to get spotted.
Look, mate, you're recommending Dark Elf go underground. Oh, that's fine by me.
Thogak is drawing up his plan.
Okay. That's both intriguing and terrifying.
Or the second one?
So the real question is, I mean, honestly, stealing the weapon is going to be the easy part. I'll be honest, Rin, you and Thogak have the hard part, which is...
Thogak wouldn't have it any other way, man.
That's true.
Rin really wishes he was one level higher.
Maybe he will be.
Let's see. Fuck.
So, which one is our job again?
We're getting Clockwork out of prison.
Okay. And blowing up Stone's office.
If you can manage it, I don't think anyone would stop you.
That's not a solid part. That's like side quest, and you know me, I'm about the side quest.
Hey, wait,
so let's see if we can get the main quest done.
Maybe we could use that as a distraction, because I mean, the way it bubbles down, you guys need a way to break him out of prison. Once you've broken him out of prison, that should be a big enough distraction for Stone to send a force after you. But the question is, how do you get there? So, the way I see it, it could be endangering.
We hop in the Falcon.
Yeah, of course. And the way I see it, it could be endangering the armory plan if you use the tunnels below.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we're probably not going to be using those.
So what's the way to? I mean, maybe you could somehow. We talked last week about how maybe we could try and use the portal rings to
Mm-hmm.
move some sort of explosive or flammable object into Stone's office. Maybe we could use that as a distraction to get it, pull the attention off to the prison cells so you guys can get there.
Look, Thogak is up for more mayhem and explosions and shit. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely for that.
So then the question is, how the hell do you get to Stone's office, because it's on an interior second floor?
Climb.
Yeah. Climb. that
Be
could
I
one
can throw
level
somebody.
higher.
What do you get at next level?
I can get another spell, and I thought I took one, and I didn't. And I want that
Okay.
spell.
Oh.
I will give you guys a level up just because I keep forgetting to think about when I'll give you a level up. But
Right
it
now?
will be
Oh, fuck.
Right now?
it will be at the
I'll do
end
it.
of this session. So it will be, you will have it for the heist, but not for the planning.
Okay. I can
Right,
get
so-
myself in there.
Look, Yak, that's a great idea and all, but someone needs to source the explosives. Because we can't just make things go boom.
Well, I know someone who's good at finding stuff. My friend said. Never mind.
About that, yeah. Well,
Oh, to Rathiel, I assume you could acquire things?
No, wait a second. Would you just... never mind. I
he
have
does that, never mind.
yeah. I've got a few strings I could pull, probably, but it's gonna be calling a lot of favors.
Yes, yes, of course.
But
But if you can do it, then we can do this.
Tethil looks at you, kind of cocked eyebrow. Yes, I agree. I'll need to ask around.
Right.
So,
And how do you suggest we get to the office? Because don't get me wrong, I'm all for either some sneaking or some killing, but I don't feel like that would be the most efficient time waster.
I think I could get myself to this office.
You.
Yes.
Pray tell, how exactly do you, of all people, plan to... I mean, of all people, of course, excluding Thogak.
Let us say they won't even see me coming.
I'm not usually one to disrupt theatrics, but I think this situation requires transparency.
Yes,
He's going to go
transparency. And why'd you got to ruin everything?
The Hibernian
It
accent
was
is very
obvious, like,
disconcerting.
if they can't see you, you're not visible.
Yes, I finally remember the song I've been talking about. I finally remember the song and how to sing it.
It makes you invisible.
We.
Okay. That could be of great help, yes, okay.
It makes us invisible. That's...
Well, I could. I mean, I can. Yes, I can do it on other people, but only one at a time.
You said we.
We, yes.
So multiple people at once.
No, it's a yes in this accent. Yes.
in this act.
I'm seeing another picture, which is the few blocks around this building, just to kind of give you an idea of what the surrounding is as well.
And what about the mess hall?
What about it?
I mean...
Thogak, your head's in the right place, but there will be a moment to eat before and after the heist.
No, I mean... poison.
I don't know if that's the best idea. Not everybody in this building is working for the Thieves Guild. Out of,
Oh.
So
we can't
if we
kill
could,
everybody.
no.
if we could get a larger number of explosives, could we, in theory, mind you, blow up the mess hall too?
No.
If
I
we are
understand poisoning food, but let's not blow it up.
If you are going to blow up more than one room, I would recommend, but not the one that you're going to, but the other armory. Perhaps we could disrupt their strength by destroying their weapons and armor.
Maybe that could work.
Or we could blow them up where they sleep.
The barracks was my other thought, but did not want innocence on my hands.
Once again, I don't think everyone in this complex
Exactly.
deserves to die, so
Oui,
maybe
oui.
maybe the only place we'd blow up is Stone's office.
And the armory, I understand.
And
And
maybe
the
the
garden.
armory.
Oh, maybe the Congress Hall, because fuck Congress.
They don't actually
Right,
use the
let's just keep it
Congress Hall
simple,
anymore.
everyone.
It's a relic
Let's-
from the old days.
Let's keep it simple. I'm not blowing anything else up.
Okay, so what exactly are we blowing up?
If we blow up the stairs,
We'll blow up the supports on the sub-level, every single one, and bring the entire place crashing down.
Are you sure you're in the right mind to pull this off with us? 'Cause
Yeah, just... You're not giving me the explosives.
I,
So, okay. I am still with blowing up Stone's office, and if we're going to add something, as I think we should blow up the armory. That is my vote.
okay, that works for me.
I suppose that works.
I have finished drawing up my plans.
Oh good, let me see.
Can I roll for that?
Well, yeah, sure. What,
Definitely performance. I think.
okay,
It's about what we talked about last time.
yeah, okay, well, give me, well, you need to,
Ooh, maybe.
intelligence, maybe?
Okay.
I can,
Okay.
okay, roll me 2d20.
Take the lower one.
2. I got a 17 and a 15.
Okay. And... okay, so, what does this affect?
What do you mean? What does?
Well, I know what the rolls are, but
Like-
why did you want to
Okay.
roll in the first place, I suppose? Because anything
To see how
theatric
good
just...
it is.
I mean, do you have something, like, actually written, or are you just gonna wing it? It's not terrible, but that's really up to you if you have something to say.
Okay. So,
I mean, it's above average, I'd say, with a 15 and a 17. That, in reality, that would be more like a 14 and a 16, probably.
yeah.
Just because -2 to intelligence and -1 to performance. So, we'll give that a
So-
solid 15. Your roll.
So, okay. So I have two pictures, two drawings.
Mhm.
One drawing is what is quite obviously me, right? Because
Okay.
it's got the gray coloring, and I'm like a full extra person taller than the other person on the paper. And I'm holding a battle axe, right? And the other person has his head coming off, and his body's still there, and there's just kind of like very crudely drawn blood, and there's an arrow that's pointing to him that says Ed. And I said, so this is the first part of my plan. And then there's me jumping off the roof, carrying something as the second part of the plan.
When you're supposed to be the distraction.
It's pretty distracting.
Well, I'm confused.
Certainly
What are you
very
carrying?
helpful.
Is that his head?
No, that's the crowiness.
It's a little small to be a person, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not the best at drawing, but you get the point.
Yes.
And then I correct it and point to it, spelling crowiness.
Oh, well, that is a very valid plan, Thogak. Here, give me that. We'll hang it up on the wall here so we can all look at the plan. Like he's looking at all of you, like nodding, like, and use it to form a better plan. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, very good. Yes, that's a good plan, Thogak.
Wonderful.
Pin it like in the middle of the like conspiracy board of like maps and pictures and sketches and stuff and.
Maybe I have a knack for this planning stuff after all.
That actually reminds me, Tarathiel. You said not everyone at this convent you want dead, right?
Yes. It's more statistic, I suppose.
Do you have anyone on the inside that can maybe give us a minor in? Maybe look the other way, or smuggle something in for us?
Yes, I do.
Yes, a minor would be helpful.
But it would be a big favor to ask.
This is a big job. Big favors are kind of... How do I put it? It kind of comes with the whole shtick, doesn't it?
Yes. What were you thinking?
Well, if we're needing enough explosives to blow up a room and an entire armory, then I'll kind of like look around. Don't exactly think we could just sneak that in.
We're going to use the rings.
Well,
So
no,
open the portal.
we can use the rings to get out of the building, but we cannot use them to get into the building.
No, Nazin. We use the ring to... We keep all the explosive here. We use ring to open doorway, get explosive from here to there.
Yeah, okay.
I hand explosive over.
Oh,
Yeah,
that could work.
yes. As long
Then-
as I get in, I can get people who are here in.
Okay.
I'm not very sneaky, so
In which
That
case, maybe he won't be used to smuggle us in, but maybe get a rotation that we can move the other way. Take as little lives as possible. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. For you and I, though, getting in should be a problem. I know where this tunnel comes out, and he points to the one on the left. I suggest you and I use that tunnel to get to the vault.
Well, getting in necessarily wouldn't be a problem, no. It's just... eventually we're going to run into opposition, and I would like it if that opposition wasn't opposed to us.
True.
In the case of an emergency, are the tunnels big enough for me?
Yes, there should be.
Okay.
Maybe if you duck a little bit on the how those tunnels are.
Oh, most definitely.
yes,
but
that's
you'll
for
be
everything.
able to fit.
Alright.
Okay.
And if the alarm is raised by any incident or accident by either of us, we don't have anyone fighting for our side, do we? Just us two. Getting
Just
on.
us two. But I can check with my contact and see if there's anything you can do for us, as far as maybe getting a few guards off of rotation or anything really.
Alright. And as for you, sorcerer,
I look around
this
for a sorcerer.
invisibility thing, it's
Yes?
does it turn everything invisible that you're holding?
Yes, it turns anything that I am holding, carrying, wearing, and myself invisible.
So could you carry me around?
I think I have tried this once in training, and I don't think it works that way. If maybe you were small enough to put inside of a bag, then yes, I could turn the bag, but not to you.
But what if we make a really big bag?
I do not think I could carry you. Anyway.
Would you be able to lift him?
I don't think I would be able to lift him anyway.
Yeah,
yes,
no
point.
offense to you, but you don't look very.
Make me invisible, and I'll carry him.
Now that could work.
See, that's an idea.
Because I have no doubt you could blend in as a Thieves Guild member if we were to get you an outfit. Thogak is the outlier there, though, because he's pretty
I
obvious.
don't think many Goliaths are.
I can blend in.
No, you can't.
I just cocked my head at you.
You're right. I can't.
We tried that whole thing when we first tried to run away from the Thieves Guild. Remember how that went?
I ended up having to kiss him on the abdomen.
That was your decision.
I thought maybe it would get us out. Maybe he will look away.
Right.
Tarathiel's looking at all of you like, what the fuck?
He likes strong men.
Okay.
That is what I said. Yes, I just said that to the guy. It does not hinder there. It's fine.
Okay, so. Well, that method of thinking. Perhaps what we could do is, Ren, you could sneak in to the complex as a member of the Thieves Guild. Get to the prison cell and wait for Thogak, who is invisible, to get to the armory and place explosives there and blow it up and get out, so that you can break the doctor out of prison, escort him to the top, rendezvous with Thogak, and make your getaway, causing some sort of distraction for Kazara and I to break into the armory, not the armory, sorry, the vault, and steal whatever weapon it is that Stone has hidden there.
It's a good idea.
It's not a bad idea. I think I could pull off a guard. Not a hard performance in this place.
Okay, well, it's a start then. What can we do then to ensure some sort of distraction to pull the gods off of the vault?
I think when the bombs start going boom, the guards will go away.
Okay.
So you have to wait for the opportune moment.
Yes, indeed. He looks at you, Kaz. He says, "We're not going to have a lot of time."
Well, we'll have to make do with what we can.
I suppose so. Okay then.
So, you know the ways through the tunnels, yes?
Yes.
Do we know which cell our prisoner is being held in?
No, I'll have to ask some contacts.
Do you know where this magical weapon is kept?
Yes.
Is
And he points at
that
the
on
vault. Yeah, on the map.
Vault, yes.
The one
You
that
know, I
is-
realize now I wrote armory on there. That's supposed to be
Yes,
vault.
right. That's why I've been calling it second armory.
Okay, that's my bad. Tarathiel, like,
okay.
he goes, oh shit, and he, like, scratches it out and writes vault next to it. Okay, that's better. Here, the vault.
Alright. Well, let's go, take a look around. You talk to your contact.
Yes. I will need to do this alone, I can understand. In the meantime, you go study the guard rotations outside the gate in case it becomes relevant.
Absolutely.
What do I do?
You, my friend, you need to figure out how you're going to do your distraction. How it's going to work.
We need explosives.
Explosives, yes. This place, it has a gatehouse, yes?
Yes.
Not an easy one to access, though. Correct?
Not necessarily, no.
Damn it. I was hoping for a distraction outside of the gates could bring the main force outside and slam the gate behind them, but...
Well, theoretically, these two have to make their escape through the main gate.
Yes. Fair, fair.
Well, I'm going to go look for some explosives.
Alright.
Hold up, just one moment. And he starts kind of like going through papers. Looking through like names, pulling out journals, kind of flipping through books and stuff. And he kind of like, and he like flips out a piece of paper, kind of like shakes some dust off of it, blows it off. And he hands it to you, and it's got a name on it.
Oh my god, you blew the paper off.
Yes, it had dust on it. What do you do with your dusty pages?
You never let my pages get dusty.
That's... Okay, that makes sense. Okay, here you go, Thogak. And he hands you a piece of paper, with a name on it. It says, Reggie Cornwallis.
Okay.
This is a guy. I've never talked to this man,
yes.
but in the past when I've needed explosives or the like, the doctor has sourced them from this man, so you might pay him a visit. Check with Rianne, and she should know where he is.
I was gonna start asking if people knew where I could buy explosives, so...
That's probably not a good thing
I think
to be
this is
asking.
a better idea.
I think that's a better idea, too.
Ren starts holding the bridge of his nose and like rubbing like towards his eyes and back.
Red, you should probably go with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, yeah.
Kazar, we should
Fucking
head
lump.
out.
Right behind you, friend.
Okay, so, we'll do. I mean, really, there's not much to do with Kaz and Tarathiel. Basically, what happens is, he leads you out of the Drunken Owl. He kind of like fixes himself up, as it were, I suppose, to not look like himself, because he can't go out of the owl not in, some sort of disguise. And he kind of sends you on your way to do your scouting. You already rolled for that, so we'll just say this is the daytime scout, while he goes and meets with his contact. So that's what you're doing, Kaz, in the meantime. Thogak and Rin, where would you like to begin?
Rhiannon.
Okay. She, you find her easy enough. Tarathiel opens, he goes all of the doors to the watchtower up here. There's 4 doors in each cardinal direction. All of them are open, so he goes and he closes one of them. And he twists the ring on his finger until one of the symbols is facing upwards, and he opens it back up, and it's a door into that back cellar room that the same one you guys came in to through the when you were in the slums. So he kind of opens that for you. Actually, that's probably how all of you would exit downwards.
I'm going to jump off.
Fucking the what?
I'm kidding.
Thogak dies. Thogak falls. Your party dies. Yeah.
Shit, we know who the main character of the story was. If that was a reload.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rhiannon's tending the bar. It seems like a normal, kind of busy day at the Drunken Owl.
Okay. Step into the cellar, and then I like go to leave, and then I'm like, what's the best way to?
Oh, here you are. And he like opens a door. It's kind of a like a longer, like a bit of a hallway that goes into a room, I suppose. And he goes down the hallway to a door that puts you out next to the bar, so that you're not walking out from behind the bar.
Okay. I go ahead and walk through there, and then I'm going to sit at the bar like a normal Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
I follow and act like a normal Goliath as well.
Ah, you're learning.
Yeah. I figured we're hanging out together. You know, we go look like we belong together.
Huh. Yes. Yeah.
Chest all puffed out.
Yeah. And I just correct your posture a little bit, like pull your shoulders back just a little bit. Like, there you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Then I give you a pat on the back.
Thogak, you don't notice as much, but Rin, with your passive perception, you kind of catch a figure out of the corner of your eye, sitting on the stool next to you. Would you give him a full gaze? You can't tell what he's doing. He doesn't appear to be touching you, but he's doing something. It's the best way to put it.
I'll give him like a half gaze.
Okay. It's Munch.
Okay.
And he's like copying your posture, kind of giving you a half gaze, and the second you look at him, he like and he like leans over, you know, and acts like he's drunk. He's like, oh hello, it's been quite some time. You too. Where you been?
Is this the one that was sizing me up? Or like looking for something to steal?
Yes.
Okay.
He is a gnome. Actually, he's a halfling, sorry.
He's halfling. He's half halfling and he's half tiefling. He's halfling.
Half halfling. But upon inspection, he's wearing a flute around his back. He's got kind of a cool, long coat. It's a very short coat to both of you, but to him it would go to like the back of his knees. And he is holding a mug far too large for him to pick up. He's kind of entertaining it in front of him. He kind
How
of
is he entertaining it? Is he like singing?
Yes. No, he's just like, as you kind of both are looking at him, he just like leans forward, like presses his lips to it, and then like tilts it towards himself on the table, on the bar, sorry. Like he can't pick it up, but he's just kind of like, kind of awkwardly has to stoop to like, and he kind of sits it back upright and wipes his mouth and is just looking at you guys with like wide eyes, awaiting something.
Can we help you?
No.
Good.
Good.
I look over, try to find Rhiannon.
She's at the...
With my hand on my coin purse.
You like touch your hand to your coin purse and then flick your eyes at him, and he like flicks his eyes away from your coin purse like yeah, so Rhiannon is at the furthest leftmost side of the bar from you. Leftist-most. She's at the liberal side of the bar. And she does see you. She's kind of flicks her eyes at you, but she's attending to a customer, so
I'll just wait for her then.
yeah. So about 30 seconds pass, and she kind of, you know, like walks away. They say something at her, so she kind of turns around, smiles, you know, says something back, and then eventually makes her way to you guys and just looks at both of you and just gives the biggest like sigh, just like, oh, So, how's it going?
It is going great. Need to find this guy.
Do you, like, extend forward a piece of paper? The piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay, she, picks it up and looks at it, you know, kind of holds it away from
Reggie
her face.
Cornhole.
Reggie... No, that's not what this says. It's Reggie Cornwallis right here. She hands it back to you. Yeah, so he's down by the warehouse district. Okay, so go to the doc's office, okay. Go past his office, hang a right at the first right you get to after you pass his office. Go down for 2 blocks, take a left, you'll be at the warehouses. He's a warehouse worker, so you'll probably find him at work at this time. She kind of like looks out one of the windows to kind of check the shadows.
You got that, Red?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
Cool. Why do you
you
need
lost
him?
me, so-
Out of curiosity.
He's a
you
friend.
know, he's a friend of a friend. We're gonna meet up. We're gonna talk about some business.
You know, I'm in on this plan too. She kind of like
Yeah.
leans in and like looks around so no one's hearing her. She's like,
I was gonna.
I just look
what's
over
this?
at Munch.
he takes just like a.
Yeah.
He's basically got his chin on the bar, trying to like tilt the drink forwards and get ale out of it. You can trust him. Don't worry. He's heard worse.
I don't know if trust is the right word, but
Mr. Cornhole says explosives deal.
Explosives?
kaboom.
What the hell do you guys need with explosives?
And then just with
To
with
blow
a
something up.
minor illusion, with minor illusion, I make like a little like 3-inch, a little 6-inch rainbow in front of my hands, and and inside the rainbow it says distraction.
Okay. So I don't mean to pry, you know, it's just generally I'm the one who plans these things. He's keeping me very on the bench for this one. I don't know why.
Well, if things go wrong, you know, plausible deniability and such, probably. I don't know.
He's never had a problem with that before.
Well, he didn't have us to pin shit on before.
I guess that's not like him to do that, is the thing.
Well, you know,
Anyway, are you trying to buy
I
explosives?
wouldn't worry about it. He's a good man. He's family.
Trust me, I know. Right, well,
Yes, buy explosives.
yeah, we're trying to buy explosives here.
okay. I'm assuming you're gonna have them delivered here.
Yes.
I didn't think that far.
Okay. She's kind of thinking to herself. Okay. So, I guess probably the most logical thing to do would be to somehow disguise kegs of explosive, like quote unquote, as kegs of ale.
As a,
We could have
as
them,
ale,
yeah,
yeah.
delivered back here maybe. Store them in the back room.
yeah.
Okay.
The nitroglycerin will have his wine that comes in a wine case.
Nitro fucking what? Just marches through the door.
Yeah, Munch turns to you, he's like, did you just say nitroglycerin by chance? Like really loud. No. Nitro what?
Yeah, you know, explosives.
Okay.
It's stuff you gotta be more careful with.
Nitroclosin.
Okay, okay. Right.
You've heard of dynamite?
No.
Yeah. And Rin ponders for a second about how more advanced the Feywild is. It's like, huh.
Anyway, here's what we can
I
do.
just nod like I know what's being said.
Okay, well, here's what we should do. You guys go negotiate the purchasing of such explosives.
I just like crack my knuckles. Negotiate. I can do that.
She pulls out like a pretty hefty bag of what I mean, judging by the size of the bag and the weight of it, appears to be like a good bag of gold coins, and she just like smacks it down on the bar in front of you. It says, "Negotiate the purchase of explosives. Money's not an issue. This is all you should need. Although try not to spend all of it if you can."
How much is here?
She kind of like picks it up, weighs it. She's like, probably like 250.
Is Munch staring at it?
Munch like has his head laid on the side of the bar. He's just got two hands around a mug, and he just has his head laid on the side of the bar, just looking at it. His mouth is open. There's a little bit of like drool coming out. She looks at Munch. She like slides it away from him, more towards you.
I grab it.
Thogak, I think when we get there, perhaps we should do an illusion like I'm the brains and you're like my muscle guy, so you should hold the money, right?
Right, an illusion.
And you're like, exactly.
That's a good idea. No, I like where your head's at.
So like, I'll do most of the talking, and you look there, you're there and be intimidating. That's your part you're gonna play.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. You can't do intimidating like I can.
Exactly. You're much better at it than me.
You are very intimidating. Anyway, negotiate.
I look at her like.
Yeah, she gives you a wink. So just negotiate the purchase. I can send. I pick up, food supplies from there all the time, so I can just send a shipment. Send one of these guys, and she like kind of motions around to her employees to go pick it up. We can trust them. I have no love for the Thief Guild, so.
All right.
Good plan.
Okay, cool.
Oh. Right.
Maybe we should buy something to seem more normal.
She looks at you, Thogak, just like up and down.
Thogak, we should go.
Okay. I'm hungry.
What if you're hungry? Say that.
I'm hungry.
Can we get some traveling food?
Yes, you can get some traveling food.
Like maybe a sandwich.
A sandwich? Yeah, you got like 5 minutes. I gotta prepare that.
Yeah, I can give him 5 minutes for a sandwich.
Okay. 5 minutes.
Make it 2.
2? Okay. Munch like raises his hand. She says, "I'll make it 2." Just goes and she starts making sandwiches. Yeah, so about 10 minutes, she's got 2 sandwiches for you guys. Sends you on your way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She's like working with another customer. You can tell she looks irritated, and she brought it up, but for some reason it seems like Tarathiel is not including her in this plan.
I caught that.
Yeah. But just her attitude is reflecting that. She is kind of short, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah,
she
everyone is.
Everyone's kind of short around Thogak. Well,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Touche. So yeah, you guys are going to the explosive warehouse, I assume. Well, the warehouse where you can buy explosives.
Yes.
The
explosive warehouse. We opened the door. Bang! Well, found the deck of many
Should have
things.
expected that. It said explosive warehouse on the door.
Well, this town is far more literate than I thought it would be. Look, don't look at me. I thought when they said explosive warehouse, it was a warehouse where you could purchase explosives.
No, that's the explosives purchasing warehouse.
Ah, of course. Anyway, Ren, you remember the way to his place, and you remember the instructions she gave. By the way, I mean, like, you get there,
Yes.
there is a There is basically a large section of warehouses. It's about Oh, let me open my map. I want to say it's 4, but it might be 6 warehouses, kind of stone warehouses. They're about 2 to 3, like 2.5, 3 stories tall. Kazar just burst from the ground. Stone. Where is he? Okay, so there are. There are 16 small warehouses, just kind of like long hall type buildings, yeah, that's really all you have to go on. They're all kind of next to each other in this block.
Should I call for him?
No. Do they all look like they deal with the same things?
Warehouses, no. Each of them seems to be something different. So there are kind of regular carts and wagons entering and exiting.
I look for the one that deals with food. She said she gets food from there.
Okay. Very good. Very, very good, Mark. Yeah, so there's one that looks like it has bundles of wheat, and, you know, maybe at first you see that and you're like, I don't know, but, you know, basically that one goes to one of the warehouses, so you pin that one in your mind. And then another one looks like it is carrying some sort of meat, and it goes to the same warehouse.
Alright, I go to that one.
Okay, yeah. So all of these warehouses appear to be identical in their construction. They're just kind of like large stone buildings with kind of wooden beams, you know, through the middle and wooden roofs, and yeah.
Okay.
So you go to this warehouse. There's a bunch of workers kind of moving to and fro.
I look for a supervisory type.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a catwalk, kind of around the upper, we'll call it like the loose second story. As you're entering the warehouse, you kind of, you know, pass a few people, a few carriages. There's a guy offloading what looks like some sort of ham. Kind of.
I am. I am looking as intimidating as I can, thinking that we've already started.
There's yeah, so
if I notice, I go, pull it back just a little bit.
So there's a guy offloading that ham on the like from a cart, right? And he kind of sees you, Thogak, and he just looks at you, and he just drops the ham he's holding, and it kind of like splats into like the muddy hay floor. And Ren, you up above on one of the second story catwalks, you hear a guy go, "Oi! What are you doing? Pick that up!" And he does look a little better dressed, a little more authoritative than the rest.
First thing I do is I recheck the paper real quick to make sure I hit the name, because I have a problem with that. What's his name again?
Reggie Cornwallis.
Reggie Cornwallis.
Reggie Cornhole.
Reggie Cornhole.
He's trying really hard not to say cornhole. All right. I would like to try to like I fold the paper back up, give it to him. I go, all right. This amount of intimidation, is good. You stay here, right? I'll be right back. And I walk a little bit up, and I want to like flag down, or try to get the attention of the dude up there.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really have to try. He kind of sees you as you're talking with Thogak. He looks at that guy, who is still looking at Thogak, and that kind of brings his eye to Thogak. And you just hear him go, "Wait just a minute!" And he like marches down the steps and marches up to you guys and just goes, "What are you doing here? It's warehouse personnel only."
Yeah. Well, yes, just the man I was looking to talk to.
I am.
Or, I'm looking for an employee of yours.
Go on, day's wasting.
Well, I don't know what the fuck he looks like. Do you have a Reggie who works here?
I've got a Reggie who works here. What do you want with Reggie?
Well, if he's the Reggie I think he is, he owes me money.
Reggie owes everyone money.
Yeah, well, I'm here to collect a little bit.
Alright, just
or at least get
hold your horses, right? Just shut your mouth, okay? Let me see if he's working today. And he like goes over.
I cross my arms and just like.
He looks at you. Like, he does a double take. He goes to, like, walk away, looks at Red, and he looks at you. And he kind of looks away, looks back at you, like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he just goes over to, like, a little, I don't know why, I'm picturing this as, like, a very modern warehouse. So imagine, like, a little sub-room in this warehouse that's just kind of like a little gatehouse, but it's like a little office, basically. And he's, like, flipping through a chart or something. He kind of takes a minute, you know, he's taking his time, quote unquote, kind of flashing his eyes up back at you guys every once in a while. It comes back. He says, Reggie's not working now, but he'll be on shift about an hour from now.
Alright. Distinguishing features of this Reggie? Perhaps maybe I could get him before he comes to your shift so I'm not interrupting?
What do you want with Reggie again?
Money.
He's kind of eyeing you up and down. Very well. Reggie's a ginger, he is. Reddest hair you've ever seen on a person. It's hard to miss. He's
Thank
looking
you
at
for
you
cooperation.
very suspiciously, by the way. Kind of like eyes squinted.
You got something in your eye.
Seeing him look at Ren like this, I look at him suspiciously too.
He kind of like looks at you. He like looking at Ren. He flicks his eyes at you back at Ren, and then he just looks back at you like, "What the fuck?" Like, oh. Get out of my warehouse. You can't wait here.
Alright.
He turns around and he goes back up. He walks over to the guy that dropped the hammer earlier and he just like smacks him and he's just like, pick that up! Stop looking at the freak over there. Get back to work.
Alright, so I get out of here. And then I walk a little bit down the road and just stay on watch for someone with the reddest hair I've ever seen, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, so about an hour and 20 minutes later.
No, Reggie.
Reggie.
Even later, but...
Where are you waiting?
Like, to the, like, 50 feet to the right of the warehouse.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're just kind of hanging on outside.
Yeah.
You see a few, just to kind of, I guess, fill you in on this. Basically, while you're waiting, there are Thieves Guild members about. And they do see you. But you notice something, probably both of you would notice something. And Thogak, I say you would notice this, not that you're very attentive, but it's kind of irregular to what was happening to you specifically, where instead of the Thieves Guild kind of eyeing you with glances, you know, dirty looks and stuff, a lot of the Thieves Guild members you see are actually averting their eyes from you. They might like flick their eyes at you, but they're kind of like trying not to see you, if that makes sense.
Did.
What was that?
I know what the boss did.
But yeah, so you don't face any problems from the Thieves Guild, but you do see a bunch of them about.
Is there something on my face? They're not staring like they usually do.
It's probably the lack of faces on some of their friends.
But yeah, so about an hour and 20 minutes after he tells you that Reggie will be in an hour, you do spot a... You probably would have been able to spot this person, even if you weren't told that he had very red hair. But you see someone with very just shaggy, patchy red hair and like a very patchy beard approaching the warehouse, and he looks like he is just covered in like powder burns. He's like missing half of an eyebrow. He's missing a whole eyebrow. Like,
I want to approach this guy before he gets to the warehouse.
he's kind of stumbling a little bit. And you just approach him.
I'm walking with you,
Yeah.
and I say, and then like lean over as we're walking. Should I pick him up and bring him into an alley or something?
Not yet, but maybe.
He's kind of like walking around you. He's kind of looking at you and trying to walk around you like.
Excuse me.
I didn't do it.
Reggie.
You owe us money.
No, wait, hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. No, you don't. You don't owe us money. You don't owe us money.
Oh, thank God.
You're Reggie Cornwallis.
No. And he turns and keeps trying to walk into the warehouse.
Zogak, now you grab him.
I grab him and just like, swing him over my shoulder, and then just carry him somewhere.
No, put me down!
Shut the fuck. If you shut the fuck up, this will go good for you.
Help! I'm being taken.
Reggie, I'm trying to.
There's like a bunch of people just looking at you doing nothing. They're just watching this happen. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Reggie, I'm trying to buy explosives from you. Shut the fuck up.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes.
I see. I'm being taken according to my own free will. I'm allowing this to happen. Carry on with your day.
Just shut up.
And like people just like very hesitantly get back to what they're doing, and he just kind of goes limp over Thogak's shoulder.
And I walk into like an alley or something if
There
I can find one.
Yes, this is the city of alleyways. There is an alleyway across the street from this warehouse. It even like hooks around if you need it to. If you want to just
go.
Yeah.
I want to go to the hook around.
So,
I push you to the hook around.
Yeah.
And I keep him like hooked over my shoulder as I'm looking down the alleyway from where we came.
Yeah, I look both ways before you put him down.
I don't put him down. I just keep holding him
He's just
there.
hanging out.
So, you
You haven't
are
asked
not
me to
Reggie
put him down yet,
Cornwallis.
so.
Yeah, no.
Perhaps I am Reggie Cornwallis. Perhaps I am not.
Do you want gold? I want yes or no answers.
Always.
Okay, so are you Reggie Cornwallis?
Okay, fine, yes.
Okay.
If you must know.
Yes.
I'm Reggie Cornwallis. I just answered your question.
Okay. If they're Gek, put him down.
I just drop him.
He just lands. He's like a very skinny, just like oh! He picks himself up. You have very comfortable arms.
I don't think
Don't
he's ever
believe
been
I've been
accused
told
of
that.
Well, get on with it. What do you want?
Well, we were told by someone that we can get explosives.
Who?
I forget. Mark forgets. My memory's shit. Were we allowed to say that we were told of him by him?
He didn't say.
He didn't say.
But he did say that normally he deals with. Normally, when he needs something of explosive nature, he goes to the doctor, and the doc
gets it through him.
Okay.
An associate of the Dr. Clockwork usually goes through the doc, but the doc's in trouble and we're trying to help him.
Oh, that is a shame. Okay, spit it out. What do you want?
A lot of explosives.
How much of explosives is a lot of explosives?
Enough to blow up an armory and an asshole's office.
Okay. How much are you willing to pay?
That's not what I'm saying. I want to know how much it's going to be.
How big is the office?
Hey! Mark's pulling up a picture.
Who is Mark?
Guessing by... Fuck you.
It's a pretty big office.
Was I given what dimensions were?
No
on this
dimension
thing?
specifically.
Son of a
Only what
bitch.
you can infer from
So
it looks like 4 times the size of a normal office.
right, and a normal office is like
5x5.
no.
No.
That's
No,
a locker.
not
It's a cubicle.
Not
It's
bad.
not a
And its stone
cubicle.
works in a locker. No.
We're the bullies. We locked him in the locker and forced him to work.
Oh God.
So the average one's probably like a 10 by 10, so it's probably like a 30, 10 by 30, 30 by 30-ish. roughly.
Okay. How big is the armory?
About that. Slightly smaller.
400 gold.
100 gold.
350.
150.
I just put my hand on his head like, a baseball player picks up the ball with one hand. Just put my hand on his head like that.
300.
Take a hand off him for a second.
Very muffled.
Like on the top of his head.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to be a little threatening.
If you're trying to intimidate him, I will need a roll. Also, Rin. I'm assuming, what would bartering be typically? Persuasion?
Persuasion, typically.
Yeah. I will have you roll
Windows.
a persuasion for whatever number you're rolling now, or whatever you go to.
Rolled a 14, so 16.
16. Okay. Sorry, let me get my DM dice. 16.
I like the D&D Beyond rolling app thing. It gives me
pretty
good
cool.
numbers.
Yeah, he definitely fails.
I got a 21 persuasion.
Okay.
I'm
200.
gonna say 175.
Deal. What you pay for the transport?
Yep.
Fine. Only because I have specific details.
Okay. Now, what's on spying you is a shit ton of black powder.
Okay.
Is that good?
That black powder's good.
Okay.
Now, I need this black powder delivered to this address, and I write down the Drunken Owl.
What's your
Wait,
address?
whoa,
The
whoa,
Drunken
wait.
Owl.
Wait. But.
Shh, I got this. I got this.
Okay.
I got this. I need it to resemble kegs of ale.
Kegs of ale. Very well.
Yes. I will acquire someone to come to you to bring it to where I need it, but you need to make sure that these look like kegs of ale.
Okay.
Very well done.
I will need an additional 25 gold. To source the kegs, of course.
I'm like squinty eye looking at him.
You're
I would
welcome to
give you
do an
an extra
insight.
I was like, yeah, give me an insight. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. No, you give me an
I'll
insight. I'm the DM here.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was talking to my phone. I swear. Here, give me an insight, phone. Phone said it's 16.
Okay. Fuck. Oh my! I gotta turn my goddamn lamp on. I keep rolling die, and then I have to like go in close. What'd you get?
16.
It appears as if he's asking you for 25 gold, so that he can source kegs of ale, or to make them look like kegs of ale. Basically, wooden
I
barrels
know.
with ale written on them.
Yeah. Fine. So you get your 200 gold that you asked for before, I suppose. But
Yes, I do.
you don't get the 225 you would have gotten.
Very good. And he hands out. He does his palm out.
Pay the man. I'll pay the man.
Oh.
Give me the money.
Okay. I hand you the money, like.
And I count
we
out.
can trust him.
I count out. I count out. Hold on, 175. I count out 100 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I count out 25. There's 125. 25 to source out the barrels. You get the rest upon completion.
Very good. What about the other 100? I would like it now.
Upon completion.
Completion as in right now?
As in, like, when the barrels get to where they need to go, you'll get paid.
Fine. He like takes it. He like shoves it in a pocket.
I gave you the
pat
25 to
him
source
on
the
the head.
barrels.
Yes, you did.
And, some advice. Maybe don't owe so much.
Yes, it
Your
was
boss
very
sold
easy.
you out fast.
Yeah, your boss sold you out very fast. Apparently, you owe a lot of people a lot of money.
He's just looking at you. And he's like, his lip starts to quiver a little bit. His eyes water.
So-
He's just looking at you. He looks really sad.
Yeah, he sold you out really fast. So also, if you fuck us, we know where you live. So where
Yeah,
can
'cause
we
he told us
send
that too.
someone to get this supplies? And when?
Just send them to the warehouse tomorrow.
Okay. Have a good day at work, Reggie.
Yeah. He just turns around and he mopes to work.
Wait. We told your boss we were coming to collect money. Maybe we should make it look like we beat you up. 'Cause you really
He
don't
walks
have any.
faster. He's like,
I mean, we already had him crying. It does look like we beat him up.
Stomach shots. Yes.
oh my god. He's gone. He's disappeared out of the alleyway by now.
Well, I think that was a job well done. High five, though, guy.
I kind of lower my hand for a high,
Yep.
for a medium five.
Smack it. Yes.
Was he crying?
Yes.
Huh.
It made it look like we were assaulting him or badgering him for money. I thought that was
Why
a
was
better
he
way.
crying? He got money.
He was crying because we made him feel like no one around here loves him, and he could be easily sold out. Which is fine. That's what I wanted. I want him to cry. That way, it looked like we did what we said we were going to do, without actually hurting him. Just emotionally
Does
scarring him.
nobody care?
Apparently not, by the way he reacted.
That sounds lonely.
It does. If Reggie does a good job, we should recruit him.
That's a good idea.
He could
Recruit
be
him
your
for
new
what?
navigator.
Yikes.
More explosives.
More explosives?
And it's always
Kazara
nice to
says, looking through the binoculars, just More explosives.
It's always nice to have an explosives expert as a friend. Need to blow things
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the owl and tell her where we need to send someone and when.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you make your way back to the owl.
I fill her in, and then I tell her the plan.
Give me a perception check before you leave. So you're exiting the alleyway and turning to leave.
No one got the joke. All right, fine. Perception check. All right. So, hypothetically, I rolled a natural 1.
That's a nat 1, pal. Yeah. So, I mean, you
So
guys.
that's 5.
What about me?
5. I only let him roll 1 because his passive is so good. So,
That's true.
so no, Thogak, unfortunately.
Okay, just oblivious.
Yeah. So you guys are leaving. You make your way back to the owl. Yeah. So everything's good. The crowd seems about the same.
Then I make my joke, or I fill her in,
Okay.
and then I tell her the plan.
Oh.
No, joking.
Yeah. So she kind of nods and goes and converses with one of her employees. Actually, I think Ren, you notice it as the same employee who that first day you arrived when you performed. There was an employee getting harassed by a specific table of people. It's that employee.
Ah.
Yeah, so she goes and talks to him a little bit, and then comes back and kind of says, "Okay, everything should be good. Everything should be good."
Good. So how are you?
Busy? She walks away and gives someone a pint, and then comes back.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
How's Kazara been?
Mad.
Busy.
Could either of you two keep a close eye on him? I do worry about him, especially after last night.
Shit, was it only last night? Fuck. Yeah.
Yes, we can keep an eye.
I would appreciate that. Just make sure he's, not gonna do anything stupid.
Stupid by whose standards?
And then I just kind of cock my head at you.
By most standards.
Right. Okay.
Just don't
Yes,
let him.
I know those.
I don't know. Throw away his life.
That would be
do our
stupid.
best.
Oh, also, told Tarathiel I asked how things were going, and kind of sassy, she turns around and goes and helps other customers.
She seems mad.
And I'm sitting there
Don't
like,
get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, how things are going. Going. Trying to get the right pitch. The right inflection.
Then, you managed to, and I'm like, yeah, like that.
Okay. Going. Yes.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah. Sends the right shiver down the spine. Yeah.
Yes.
Sends the right shiver down the spine.
We give her the gold back and then tell her how much more she needs to pay him. Was part of the telling the plan.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, you just give her Gosh, let's see. You gave him 125. You owe him an extra 75.
Mhm.
So you give her about 50 gold back to keep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she just takes it and chucks it back under the bar.
Yeah, and I say yes. So this 75, and like, your man should give him once everything has arrived here.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because I was not going to pay him everything and then have him possibly fuck us.
I mean, he's not your type of man anyway. You like big, strong men.
You're not here.
Yeah, she's just like, "Oh, okay, it's probably smart. I've never dealt with him directly, but I've heard stories.
He seems like a sad fellow.
Honestly, who isn't sad in this town?
Yeah?
Well, I wasn't, but now I am.
Don't eat that string. What the fuck, Bowie? Are you... It's a string. You can't eat that.
She just looks
says
over.
says a ranger in the corner.
No, spit it out. Spit it out. He like smacks the back of it like a cat's head.
Out comes a whole owl.
Jesus.
Slash!
No, you
But-
look around for Slash and you see him. He's up in the rafters with the other owl, and they're like nestling together.
Oh, improvements. Yay. The other has accepted him as one of his own.
Do we go back now?
Yeah. We should probably tell them that what we've done.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you guys go into the back room and you open the door that you came through, and it's a closet.
Realize I don't have a ring.
Yeah, it's like I let him. I
close
watch him
it.
do it.
And I open it.
It's a closet.
Yeah. So, how did you want to do that?
I close it. And I open it.
It's a closet.
Maybe if you step into it.
I step in.
Okay, you
and
step
I close
in
it.
to a closet.
Then I close it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I help. I close it. I walk away and go order a drink.
And then I open it.
It's a cellar.
And I'm not there.
Or
I'm
it's
not
a
there
it's like
anymore.
I know. Yeah, Rin's gone.
It worked. It worked.
It worked.
Good. Now I go on the other side. And I close the door. And I open it.
It's a closet.
This
Rhiannon
stand, they
is at the
fucking
bar.
parable.
She just looks at you. She's like, "Where's Thurgag?"
I close it.
He's trying to figure out how to close it and to not close it. Can
Then
I
you
have
hear
a
a
drink,
slam
please?
as I slam the door closed, and I slam it open.
Oh my god. She's just like, no. Oh my god. She goes back and she just pokes her head in at you.
No, the drink.
And she just looks at you like, "What are you doing?
Trying to get back to the tower.
You need this." And she holds up her hand and she's got the ring on her index finger.
A hand. I have a hand.
If you open it and close it 30 times, it should work. And she goes back onto the bar and she pours you a drink and herself a drink.
Oh!
Make it a double.
She pours another one. She pours another one and sits it down on the bar next to you, and you just see Munch's hand reaches up and grabs it and just disappears
And I
into the crowd.
Mad.
And then she sets another one next to you.
And I grab it and I pour it into the first glass and then I drink them.
Oh yes. All quickly.
26, 20.
No,
Oh.
no, I start sipping on it.
Okay, valid.
I drink. You know what? I drink like a quarter of it.
She fucking
for the
shotguns
first one, and
hers
then
all the way down.
Jesus. Yeah, I drink like a quarter of it to get me started, and then I start sipping on it.
Yeah, she's just like, I mean, she just goes through it, and she kind of like leans back and like wobbles a little bit, and her like eyes flicker. She's like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. She like keeps bartending.
Damn it! I lost count. 1, 2.
And after a while, she sees you finish yours eventually, and she says, "Come on, I'll get you guys up there."
Okay.
All right.
29.
Well, let me do the last.
30. Oh, okay.
She opens it into the into the watchtower.
Rin, I did it.
Yay!
Wait.
You did it.
Why are you here? Didn't it bring you the first time?
Yes, but you opened it. You opened it more than 30 times. You just counted. Almost counted 30 once. Then you restarted. I got teleported back because of the fuck up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I won't do it again next time.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for the drink.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go not beat my head against a wall.
I stepped through.
Yeah, I go too.
Yeah. So you enter. You two are the only ones there. Kaz, is there anything else you would like to do while you are out scouting?
I go to try to figure out where the other doors lead. 1, 2, 3.
Honestly, there's nothing really much else I would want to do right now. But while I am scouting, I am a little bit curious as to how quiet my companion is.
Okay, so yeah, no, actually, this is a really good time to do that. Yeah, so she has been quiet ever since your meditation, but she is slowly kind of coming back to herself. So you haven't actually seen her, but kind of this morning as you woke up and you know throughout the day, planning and stuff, you've kind of been able to perceive her thoughts a little more, and you think maybe you could hear her voice now.
Okay. Alrighty then.
If you were to, like, say, ask a question or try to infer something from her.
No. For now, I'm just going to, let her do her thing.
Okay.
While I continue to watch while half meditating.
Okay. So you get that, basically, the outside rotation thing down. That's pretty easy to track, I suppose. You probably find a good spot on a rooftop. The complex itself does have a outer wall that is about two stories tall, closer to like 3 stories probably, but you think the stories themselves are kind of extended. But you kind of can peek your eye over the wall, I guess, and just see a little bit of like what's happening on the inside. There does seem to be kind of consistent, we'll call it like a security force that's not at any like particular posting per se, but they're just kind of migrating around, checking on things, you know, helping if they need to with stuff. But you don't really get a good look inside as to what that might look like, and you don't necessarily get obviously there's no way to see what the guard rotation is like underground.
I'll just head down then,
Okay.
and check out what it looks like underground.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But if I have the outdoor rotations down, then I'll do nothing else. I'll head back.
Okay.
What looks like obviously we're going during the day. What time of day in my time being around did it look the most lax?
So There's a moment, not at 10 a.m., but closer to 11 a.m., where they switch out the 8 guards that man the outer wall.
Okay.
That is probably, if, say, Ren and Thogak were going to exit through the front gate, that would probably be the best time, because there's not for about, maybe like a minute and a half. It's kind of a small window, but there's not, people on the outer wall and at the front gate. There's just kind of a force at the front gate waiting to be swapped out, I suppose.
Okay.
What you notice, though, is that basically these guards are supposed to wait. 4 of them are supposed to wait here, and the other 4 are supposed to wait on the opposite side to be relieved, basically, by the 4 that replaced them. But what happens is 2 stay, and 6 go in prematurely. You could probably gather that they're not supposed to do that.
Gotcha.
So,
alright. So I will relay that information to the group once I get back.
Yeah. Tarathiel told you to wait for him, so you finish your stuff and you go down to the alleyway of this building that you were observing from, and yeah, it doesn't take long, but eventually he meets you in the alleyway.
Alright.
So, did you get everything you needed?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the perch. I've got some intel of my own. He's also holding a parcel.
I do suppose that is a part of that intel.
Yes, rather
Good news or bad?
good news, good spot of luck.
Fantastic.
Yes. Shall we? And he goes to a door in the alleyway and he opens it. You two who are waiting in the tower, the door you guys came in through and closed opens, and it's an alleyway, and Kaz and Tarathiel are there. Yeah, and he walks through and he holds the door open for you.
Hello, you two. I was like, walk in.
Hello.
Hi.
So, did you get the explosives? He shuts the door.
Yes,
There should be
and
hidden more.
he has a message for you.
Yes. Rhiannon would like to know how you're doing.
What?
I think she feels a bit left out, resentful at you right now.
It's no
Yeah,
surprise, really.
She seems mad.
I would expect that she is, but this is a very dangerous mission, and I've tried to explain to her that I don't want her to be this close to harm, so...
Yes, well, perhaps another explanation is required. You should go talk to her, is what I'm saying.
I will find the time to do that, but in the meantime, this is for you, and he hands you the parcel, Ren.
Oh.
He shuts the door, and then he opens it again, so that all 4 of the doors are open. But now it's just the outside, so you're just looking at the sky, basically, from the watchtower. The explosives, you say they should be here tomorrow.
Yes, they'll be at the Drunken Owl.
Okay, Drunken Owl. That's good. And you got enough to blow up the armory?
According to Reggie.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, he owes a lot of money to people.
Yes, his boss sold him out quite quickly.
Yes, he's got a
A
penchant
new
for
recruit.
gambling.
Addicted to gambling.
And other things. Anyway, Kaz, what did you find out about the god rotations?
Kind of rough.
The gods rotate weekly.
The gods have a weekly rotation on which, every now and then one of the gods and another couple will for free to play. This is why we're talking. And no, in all seriousness, the gods maintain a pretty stable rotation, but God, what time was it around? I had it in mind, and then
11.
Okay, but right around just about an hour before noon, they swap out, and judging from what I understand about god duty, the early shift goes in a bit earlier than they're supposed to. So there's about a minute to minute and a half of just complete lack of God.
Okay.
No watch at all.
We'll have to time that perfectly then for Rin and Thogak to get out.
If you want to get out sneakily, but I don't think explosives are going to be the most sneaky thing around.
No.
So, but that would be the best time to catch if they're escaping, I'd assume you'd have about 5 minutes around that period of time where the old guys are leaving and they're tired and weary, and the new guys are fresh and not quite in the mindset for it. So if you guys need to get out stealthy, you got a minute. If you guys need to get out a bit hot, you got about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Probably, anyway.
Okay, well, Ren, do you open the parcel?
Yes.
Okay. It's just kind of like parchment style wrapping, wrapped in string. It's easy to rip open. It appears to be Thieves Guild armor.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
I got that from my
Swish.
contact. What?
No, go on.
Oh, right. Swish. Strange word. I got that from my contact. That should help us. He also says that there are around 5 gods on patrol by the vault. They vary position. At least one of them will be standing by the door, if not 2 of them. There's really no way to know.
2 of us should be able to take down 5 just easy.
I think so. I think we'll be alright. He says, he can perhaps cause a distraction of his own to get a few of them off duty, maybe, so that might help.
Tell you what he had in mind.
No. He doesn't think very far ahead, this one.
Well, that does concern me. What's this contact's name? He's going to be in the facility. I don't want him to catch my blade by accident.
He won't. He knows you'll be with me.
Yeah, but we'll be kind of sneaking around. We're not exactly saying, hello, I'm Tarathiel and Kaz to every guy we're about to kill, right?
No, but he knows where we'll be coming in, and he knows to stay out of our way, if at all possible, so...
Alright. Fine.
So, when do we want to do this?
When would be the best time?
And the explosives get here tomorrow, so it can't be today.
And we need a bit of time to prepare, so...
Probably can't be tomorrow.
What's today's date? I never remember.
The date?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell, I don't know the date.
Weekday.
Weekday. We'll say... Oh god, I used to know the D&D days. They're different than normal days. We'll just say, this is a Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Are you alright? Sound as if you're in
no,
pain.
Just stubbed my toe a little bit.
Right.
I'm thinking we strike on Saturday.
Saturday. Are you sure you want to wait that long? We really shouldn't waste any more time than we need to. We don't know what Stone's plan is, or what they're going to do with the doctor.
I mean, that's just a day extra. We need to wait until Thursday, at least, to get the explosives, then probably set another day of planning and whatnot.
Well, we've
I'd
got the
assume
rest
the
of
weekend
today.
would be
I would propose Friday.
Friday. Alright. Maybe that's when all the guys would be drinking, so maybe that might be a good idea. Well, you're the boss, saying Friday.
I got D&D that day.
Well, yeah, naturally.
Oh my god.
Think everyone's weapons will be sharp by Friday.
My weapons never
They're
go
sharp
dull.
now.
And keep them extra sharp. We want to cut through metal like butter.
No, they actually don't go dull.
I do that already.
He like pulls out the short swords. He's like, the doctor made these for me. Had them made for me.
Right. Anyway.
Friday it is.
Friday it is.
Friday it is. I know it's a little cramped, but
It is Friday.
I would,
It's Wednesday,
Thogak,
actually.
it's Wednesday. Right.
Oh.
I know it's a little cramped, but I would recommend all of you actually sleep here for the next couple of days. It's the only place in the city they won't be able to find you.
I'd imagine so.
Plus, I've got extra bedrolls, and we could maybe have a little bit of a party.
Do you have extra large bedrolls?
I've got 2 bedrolls we could put together,
Oh, yes.
and I'm sure I could get some extra blankets or something from Rhiannon.
And I like turn the drum over so it's on the steel drum side. And I start like lightly patting it and start casting Liam's tiny hut so I can control the lighting and the temperature in here.
How big is Lehman's tiny hut?
The human's tiny hut is Liam's tiny hut. It's a 10-foot radius, so I'll take up my own if I need to. I'll take up my own little 10-foot area.
Yeah, you'll probably need to like do it in like one of the little offshoots where like the doors onto the little balconies are. Lehman's tiny hut. Oh, that's very handy.
His sorceries confirmed me.
Yes, I've never been one for magic.
Feels
No.
great in here.
Right. So,
Okay.
unless any of you have anything you want to do the rest of today, it's just after midday, so there's definitely still a day. We can kind of re-enter back into the planning session just to double check that we have a plan. Get that confirmed and squared away before moving to the next day.
We have a plan, right, everyone? Like, Thogak.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, so like let's talk about it. So like, what's the order of the events that we're going to do? So far, the puzzle pieces we have are on Ren and Thogak's side. You have explosives, and you have a way to get them into certain places, but we're either putting them in the armory, in Stone's office, or in both. Both would be pretty difficult. So it's up to you to decide what order are we doing that in. Ren, you've got your Thieves Guild outfit now, so like, basically, let's kind of run through what the order of events is going to be.
So, at a time, Rin shows up
Okay.
in a thieves'
Yes.
guild outfit. I make my way to Stone's office. Now, depending on if Stone's office is empty or not, we're gonna say it's empty right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No one's in there. I enter Stone's office, use ring to then turn Stone's office door into a portal, from which Thogak is waiting to load in explosives.
Okay.
Now, after he loads in the explosives, he goes back through, and I close the door again. I make my way out to the armory, turn that into another portal. He loads more explosives into there. Right, this is the best case scenario.
Yeah.
From there, we close the portal and I cast invisibility on Thogak. That way he gets advantage on his stealth checks.
Okay.
And then we make our way.
Downtown.
Well, before going to the armory, I guess I would do a little trail of powder and light that, and then go to the armory, and then do the whole invisibility thing, do a little trail, light that, and then we make our way to the cells to get Dr. Clockwork.
Okay.
In the commotion. From there, we get the fuck out somehow.
Presumably through the main gate.
Presumably through the main gate during all this commotion. And since it's black powder, this should create, like, fire, too. At least in Stone's office, depending.
Yeah. Well, the building, the floors and the ceiling are wood, so.
So, yeah. So, yeah. That's
Okay.
fucking Swamp Thing. And then that's our half of the plan.
Okay. Is there any particular timing you're trying to set for the explosives? Like, do you want Stone's office to explode to give you a chance to get to the dock, and then once you get him, then the armor explodes as you're trying to get out to kind of give you that, or like,
Yes.
are they trying to explode at the same time?
No, they're trying to like that.
Okay. Would it work better if you went to get Clockwork alone and left Thogak in the armory, invisible, to detonate that and meet you at the gate when it was time?
That might work better.
Okay.
That might work better.
All right. And so yeah, from there you're basically escaping with the dock.
Yes.
In a way that, I mean, theoretically the armory should be the way, basically, but I would assume that it would be obvious at this point that you could probably just take the dock with the ring back to the tower.
Yeah.
But
we gotta
distract for
distract for them, exactly. That's half the issue. Is like once we get the dock out of there, if they start chasing us, hypothetically, I can find any other abandoned fucking doorway to get us out.
Yeah, you just need to lead them
created.
away, basically. Create a small chase, we'll say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that kind of covers your bit of the plan. Kaz, we have the easy bit. So basically, we are going into those tunnels.
Kill things.
Go and kill things, yeah. So yeah, we're going into the tunnels, breaking into the tunnels, breaking into the vault. Now that's actually going to be a bit tricky. Let's see. Tarathiel will have arranged for his contact to basically be waiting to get you guys into the vault. Yeah, okay. So yeah. Waiting for some sort of distraction to go off, so that could help. Okay.
Alright.
So we'll say that's the plan, loosely set in stone. Yeah, so this day finishes. Stone. Where? The next day comes. About midday, the explosives arrive from Reggie, and Rhiannon has them stored in the back room with the rest of the ale. She sets them aside, however, so that we know which is which. Um, so that goes according. Is there anything any of you want to do before the heist tomorrow? This day, you basically have a free day to go anywhere, do anything you want.
No, I'm going to say Kazara's pretty just focused on this goal at hand.
Okay. Rin, Thogak.
No.
I'm trying to think of anything, but I don't think there'd be
Yeah.
anything I'd be doing.
I don't expect you to do anything, but just in case, we basically have
Yeah.
a free day where not a lot's happening in the narrative, so. So yeah, okay. Well then cool, we get to the night before the heist then. Rin, you're in your tiny hut. You're Liamon's tiny hut. Thogak, you're on like a double wide bedroll. Kazara, you have a nice chair to meditate in.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 10-foot radius. That's a 20-foot diameter.
Oh, damn. Can you make it any smaller, or is that as big as it?
Yeah, I can make it smaller.
Oh, okay, well then you can make it fit like one of the little, like doorway to the balconies pretty easily. Let's see. I have a thing for you, Kaz. I'm just trying to decide if we should mute everyone.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think? There's not. I mean, it's not necessarily important, but that we do. But
You're telling me what do I think, but I don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
So, I don't know.
We'll just say no. We'll say no. Well, that being said, though, I mean, you two are basically done for the night. I think the session will be over after this, so if you need to go to the bathroom or do whatever, I'd say you're free to do it. But Kaz,
All right.
you...
I can call a night then if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I
sure
will
thing.
be right back.
Alrighty. Thanks for joining us, Mark.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
You guys
indeed.
have a great night.
You as well.
You as well. Yeah, be right back.
Okay.
Have a good night.
In the meantime, Keegan, you're meditating and, thinking about it. Would you like to attempt to engage Varian with anything? I'd say meditation is probably your main time of like communicating with her, apart from just everyday stuff.
Yeah.
So if
So
you
I'm
can
not
think
going
of
to
anything,
say anything in particular, like as far as like. I'm just going to try and dig into what she's thinking. So I'm just
Okay.
going to kind of just shoot a question out in the air towards her, which is just, so, milady, what are you thinking? Feel like you're up for a talk.
I've been studying their faces.
What have you found? The face holds many lies. Well, that saying goes, right? I don't know. It's been some 100 years or so since the last I heard it. Anyway.
I can
you've
see
been
them
studying
so
their face.
clearly.
See who?
And you, as she's saying this, actually, so maybe you would ask, maybe you wouldn't, but you kind of get just glimpses of those two faces that you saw, and what you can only imagine to be a memory of hers. when you were meditating that day, when you accidentally meditated for the full like 8 hours instead of 4, and you had a vision of sorts. You just kind of get flashes of that again. The one face that was staring, that kind of grabbed her as she was walking out of the throne hall, spoke words to her. The one that had the same owl symbol on his lapel, and then the other face that stabbed her. That egg. But you just kind of get like very brief flashes of those, kind of like with colors, almost like just very memoretic flashes, I guess. And
So, who do these faces belong to?
I don't know.
Not sure yet, eh?
It's as if I've known them for lifetimes, but they're entirely unfamiliar at the same time.
Well, keep digging. It only took you however long it did to get some semblance of your memories back. I'm sure this will come just as easily. You willing to help? Come Friday.
It's not like I have a choice in the matter, darling.
That is true, but I still want to ask. After all, you and I both know that your murderous rages are a bit stronger than mine.
I suppose I'll help if I can.
That's what I wanted to hear. In the meantime, you get your rest. I don't actually know how that fully works yet. You get your rest, and we'll try and
Do you trust him?
Who? Tarathiel?
Yes.
I trust the Goliath, and the Goliath trusts him. Tarathiel, this watcher, had helped, tried to, where he could. I find it curious, perhaps, that he wasn't able to hurt the big boss, but then again, I've never seen anyone strike him, so who knows? As for now, his goals align with mine. Trust has no matter in this. I think you know that better than anyone else. I want to see Stone suffer, and this is a great way of making him suffer.
I suppose.
Do you not trust him?
Not that I can remember, but I feel like the last time I trusted somebody, I died.
Yeah, that might be, yeah. Well, we'll carry that sentimentality moving forward. And still try and find a way for you to recover those memories.
Does it scare you
Unfortunately,
at all that they're coming back?
not necessarily. Your memories have been... I mean, God, when I first awoke back from death, I mean, you were not even a voice. You were just fuzz. Not even sure you were there. So, it doesn't scare me that your memories are coming back. It worries me that the memories are coming back for me too. And I'm curious as to what that means, perhaps.
Well, I used to be my own person.
You still are. You just happen to share my body. Well, it's Clearly your thoughts are completely independent from mine, though. Meaning, thus, at the very least, you're your own mind.
Well,
We'll
when you put
figure
it
it
like
out.
that, it doesn't sound so bad. And you feel that she is like disappointed, I guess. She's trying to hide
Yeah.
her emotions, but she hasn't quite mastered that yet. She does feel very unsettled, disappointed, unfulfilled,
Look.
maybe.
Varian, we'll find a way for you to get your own body, or we'll find a way to put you to rest, whichever you'd prefer. But, for now, your goals are unfortunately mine. We have no way of accelerating your memory. Or, anyway, that we know of anyway.
Mm. And yet it was him
Keep
that brought
looking.
it back.
Him.
Yes. We were
To
thinking
us.
about him, yes. When the vision struck.
And that stone, that reacted to you, didn't it?
I can't say for certain.
Looks like we landed in the right location anyway. Fortunately,
I'm not sure we landed. It feels more like we were brought.
that's true. That's true. Brought by what, though? We'll see. And I'm going to just kind of...
Yeah.
Is that all?
He's moving.
Who, Tarathiel?
Yeah. As she says this, and you ask that, you do hear very, very light footsteps, but footsteps nonetheless kind of walk across the room, and would you open your eyes, or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you do see Tarathiel kind of, in the kind of like inlet opposite you. He just kind of very quietly sneaks to the door, and he's wearing his garb, the Watcher garb, and he's got the helmet. He's not wearing it yet, though. But he goes and he kind of like braces on the balcony. He's looking over the city.
Tarathiel.
He kind of like looks over his shoulder.
What you up to, friend?
Guess I was just thinking about tomorrow.
Tomorrow will come. There's no sense thinking about it outside of your meditation. Especially since your meditation's better than mine.
Well, I was thinking about other things too, I suppose.
Girl trouble?
Well, you know,
I can only wish you the best of luck. Don't go getting off to anything that'll get yourself hurt tonight, though. Or tomorrow. Or, yeah.
I wouldn't dream of it. If I could dream.
You're fresh. Well, I mean, your dreams are still better than mine. At least you can still meditate on things and actually, do stuff you fucking...
Come, join me. He kind of like motions for you to come to the balcony. Since you're up.
No, always. And I walk over
Okay.
and kind of just lean against it.
You're looking out over the like city proper, so like if there was a north, south, east, west kind of balcony, you're at the one right now that is very much so looking to the west, so like over the entire city. You can see every block, every sector. You can see the slums in the distance and the buildings that creep up the inner wall, kind of forming that very characteristic dome setting. You can see down, not like you can't quite see into Wraithway, but you can see where the street is, where it enters into the large kind of green of the city park that lies, just off center of the city itself. Um, kind of like a small ant, you can see the statue that stands there. Um, and he's just looking. He's just kind of looking over the city.
You know, if you get rid of all the ugliness in this town, it's not too bad looking.
Certainly didn't used to be.
Yeah.
There was a time, before all of this, and he kind of just motions around, the Thieves Guild, where the sun actually shone.
That sounds like hell.
For you, maybe, but not that this town was ever perfect. The Thieves Guild's always existed here, but Kazara, how old are you? 198 years old.
I know. I'm acting like Kazara's thinking.
Ah, okay.
Almost 2 centuries, I think.
Well,
Almost can.
you've got me beat.
How old are you?
138 years old, I think. Maybe 39.
Oh, you're still young.
As it were.
Oh, so am I suppose. Still young and reckless.
Do you ever think, in your 2 centuries of being alive, that you've maybe somehow made a difference? I guess in the grand scheme of things.
Heavens, no. Hells, no. You're asking a dark elf, and not just any dark elf. A proper Drow-born Drow. I was born in the muck, born deep underground, and died deep underground. Well, technically.
He does look at you like, what? Died?
Who I am as a drow. It's what allowed me to get up here. I had to throw everything behind. So, figuratively, died. But, have I done anything in the grand scheme of things? If there's anything I've done, I've made things worse. We only lost 2 orphans, but those 2 orphans, I knew every kid that came through that building. They were all destined for greater things than anything I could touch.
There are those who say that, our destiny is made for us, no matter what we do, it'll always turn out the same. I wonder if the deaths don't serve a greater purpose. Or at least maybe that's how I perceive it. It just helps justify it.
I lightly punch him in the shoulder. See, that kind of sentimentality is what got our great ancestors warring.
I suppose so. Whether or not you see it, though, I can tell you're trying to make a difference.
I'm trying to do something, that's for certain. And I can tell you're certainly trying.
Well,
do you feel like you've done anything? Serve the greater good, if you would.
I feel like we're lucky, you and I, that we have so much time that they don't. And he motions towards Thogak and Rin. But somehow I feel like I'm always running out of time to do something, anything. I feel like tomorrow might be that chance we've been given to maybe make some difference, disrupt whatever plan it is that Stone has been scheming at for so long.
Yeah. You know, there was a time that I was considering working for the guy.
I did work for the guy. Technically I worked with him, but it was long before this. He was much younger.
I had tales of when he was younger.
I've got tales of when he was younger.
Well, many times to tell him. Tonight, tomorrow, but...
Well, I mean, truthfully, there's not much to tell. He always hated me. We arrived in the city about the same time. Oh no, actually no, I'm thinking of someone else. No, he arrived in the city a good bit after I had. Well, I, of course, was much older than him, but we looked about the same age.
Right.
He never liked me. He always tried to beat me at things. I won't deny that I was naturally talented with certain things. I've always made a good thief. But, he used to have something in his eyes. A spark, you know, a need to succeed that, well, he seems to have lost that. I don't know what happened. He used to be some semblance of good, I suppose. But there came a turning point with him that, well, let's just say he chose his path.
Sounds a lot like me and my brother, you know.
You have a brother?
Had
Had a brother. Sorry.
Don't apologize, you're the right cunt. I killed him myself.
Oh, right, Drow, of course.
Drow, yeah. But it was not of aggression, self-defense.
Well, at least you can hold on to that.
Last time I said self-defense was... No, I'm not holding on to the self-defense. I just know that I'm not getting into much trouble downstairs. Yeah. I mean, obviously I don't look much like a normal drow. And, our Spider Queen always liked my kind. I was, you know, born gifted. I was, you know, blessed by Loth herself. But I got preferential treatment from the family I was played. A lot, you know, families wouldn't touch another family if I was a part of them. Marriage here, friendship there, alliance there. But primarily what the preferential treatment got me was a lot of training. Higher training, great training. Oh man, I still miss those days of training. Anyway, yeah, my brother, he wanted what I had. He had that ambition, but not the drive to follow through with it. And he decided that the best course of action would be try and exact a bounty that was put on my head by my ex-fiancée. Long story that too, but yeah, bit of a bounty. Honestly, it wasn't that much. Their family didn't have much to pay, nor did they have much standing, so they didn't have much pieces, but he was just trying to get any nibble of attention he could, and, well, he died, obviously, so, but,
Obviously.
yeah, it's kind of depressing, really.
Well,
I
I
came
expect nothing
to-
less from a drow.
Well, that's the thing, it's coming up to the surface, I would have expected things to be a bit more different, but we have men killing children, men killing men, all for a what? A bit of vengeance, a bit of paltry control over some nondescript wasteland that doesn't produce anything, really. What do we do? We live here. That's the most. It's not a power play. It's not a position of great esteem. It's just some guy standing on top of a hill of skulls.
Well, some guy or not, he still controls the Hill of Skulls.
And we're trying to break that down.
That's true.
I know.
Have you never seen the rest of the world?
When I came up to the surface, I was in a very fragile state. I wasn't mentally present for the most part. Ill, if you will. So, no, I wandered here in that blind stupor and recovered on this ground. I haven't seen much of anything else, but
Well,
if this is what it has to offer, I guess the drow didn't have it wrong.
no. Let me tell you, there's so much more outside of these walls. And I've only seen a little bit of it, mostly with him. And he points at Thogak. Since Kelsey's either not here or he's here and being quiet, I'll just go ahead and mime the definite from that. He points at Thogak. It's funny, one of the few people who can say I got out of this town. And somehow I ended up back here.
How'd that happen?
Well, I left. It actually sounds like you and I don't have, well, we do have a lot in common, so I'd say, comparatively, at some point, Stone was my brother, and he betrayed me, killed my, mentor. So, well, I wasn't too happy about that, so I robbed the Thieves Guild, of most of their wealth. And I fled the city. I wasn't able to take it with me, though I was more just to hurt them, but I fled the city, and I left things behind, people behind, Rhiannon behind.
For you, that's what it was going to be.
But, you know, it worked for a while. I made new friends, lost new friends, some of which I had the chance to find again, maybe, which is where I met him. He points back to Thogak. But after a while of searching, I just got this urge, and you notice, he kind of like thoughtlessly raises a hand to his chest as if he's like grabbing for something, but he kind of like realizes he's doing it and puts his hand back down on the railing. Actually, he kind of spins around and he sits on the railing now, so he's kind of looking back into the room, with his back to the city, and he says, I just got this calling. I needed to go back home, and so I did. Eventually I made my way back here, and
Became the Watcher.
yes, I decided to try and save what I could of this city.
You know, right before before all of this went down, I don't know if you were keeping up with everything, but you know that Stone put a bounty out for me, specifically, to capture you alive.
Yes, I'm not surprised.
And the payment was not having those children killed.
Yikes. He's definitely looking at you like, Ooh. Like, he kind of, like, opens his mouth to say something, and he's like, I am sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for. I don't hold you to blame at all. But
I suspect it's because I stole Evelyn from him.
I dare say. Likely. So, I have one last question for you, bud. Let's go on your neck. How'd you get it?
Oh, Jesus, you're gonna make me tell this. Okay. Out of curiosity, is the scar on your neck visible? Because
Yeah,
you've got the
it
scars
is.
on your hand for sure, but do you, okay. He kind of looks at you. He's like, well, I'll tell you if you tell me yours.
No, absolutely.
Like, extends an arm to shake.
I like go to shake his hand and then, come on, man, and slap it away. We're just telling stories.
Okay, fine. It was about 16 years ago.
Oh.
Not long after I left this city, actually. I took a job in a neighboring town to transport a cart of goods with a group of strangers. Actually, it's where I met his friend, and he points at Thogak again. Or maybe just nods at him. He's been pointing at him a lot.
Point.
Point. Yeah, he just kind of nods at Thogak. It's eventually I would meet him because of this friend, but there were few among us talented adventurers. Few of them I wish I've kept up with a little more over the years, but basically on the road, on the way to a town called Fandolin, we encountered a what do you call a group of goblins?
Pack.
A pack.
Is usually what they're referred to.
We encountered a pack, as it were, of goblins that had been terrorizing this road, you see, and well, we followed their tracks to a cave. Seemed to be their base of operations, and we searched the cave for a little while, but eventually we triggered this trap. I was knocked unconscious. I don't remember a lot of this part, but I woke up outside of the cave, having been washed out by a giant tidal wave of water, of course, in a cave. And
That's interesting.
I was a little out of sorts, right? So the rest of the party went back into the cave to further investigate. I stayed at the mouth of the cave to keep watch. And eventually, I heard footsteps. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Okay, so apparently, and they only told me this, I didn't see it firsthand, but they encountered some sort of goblin leader. I believe it was a bugbear. And they'd fought him for a short while, but he managed to escape. So, of course, I, being the strongest one of the group, managed to kill him as he ran out of the cave. So I did. I struck him down as he ran out. I surprised him, caught him off guard. He fell. Little did I know that he had a protector of sorts in a giant wolf, which was following him as he was running out of the cave, and shortly after I killed this bugbear, the wolf managed to grab me by the neck, threw me around, did some damage, that's for sure. I did manage to survive, obviously, but it cost me. He kind of rubs his neck a little bit. That's basically it. Thankfully, we had a skilled. It will skill. We had a very skilled healer among us, so my life was saved. But I did receive permanent damage for the injury.
Very lucky.
Needless to say, I don't like giant wolves anymore.
I can imagine.
Yes. So, what about you?
Well, mine wasn't a pack of goblins, nor hobgoblins or bugbears or anything like that. While we do have run-ins with them down south. Um, I thankfully never caught anything scarring. Um, as for my story, well, you remember that bounty that was put on my head?
Yes.
One my brother tried to exact. Yeah, I tried to... See, my ex-fiancée was scorned because I was, I was offered to that family in matrimony for an alliance, and apparently that ex-fiancée of mine took quite a fancy. Of course, I don't blame her with my charming good looks, obviously.
Well, of course.
No, but in all seriousness, I had a position of power. She enjoyed that. So, when I personally decided to transfer to a stronger family, to not only secure my position, but because this one was more agreeable, they seem to have employed better people. As good as people of Drow can be, anyway. At the very least, half of them could hold themselves in a conversation without stabbing someone else in the throat. So, fun. And when this bounty went on my head, this other fiancée of mine and I decided to hide out for a bit. And little did I know that she didn't like me that much. And so, while I was sleeping, she stabbed me in the throat.
He's like,
And by some divine providence that I don't believe in, but by some miracle, I didn't die.
I see.
I had no healer, I had no friends. She left me there to bleed out, and somehow, someway, my throat managed to stitch itself back together again. So, when I said I died, I mean, it was figurative, but obviously, I definitely did feel like I was dying.
I can only imagine. I know how you feel. I kind of feel the same way,
Yeah.
honestly. with mine.
It's truly quite a coincidence.
Well, I suppose so.
Well, I believe, my good friend, and I pat him on the shoulder, you need to get some rest. You may be an elf, but trust me.
Rest can wait. I've got to check in with a few things, as it were.
Then don't let me keep you.
No, of course not.
And I kind of, I pat his shoulder once more with my external arm as I turn away, and then kind of hold it there for a bit.
Yeah.
And then walk back to the chair.
Okay. So you turn to walk, and he kind of turns, and he steps up onto the railing now. And he's just standing on the railing, and he kind of, as you're walking back over your shoulder, you just hear, one more thing.
What's that?
Well, I think I trust you enough, as much as I can trust anyone in the city.
Bold move, trusting a drow.
Well, in fairness, as far as drow go, I don't think you represent them. The only drow, apart from you, that I've had to deal with is that depressing bastard Fresic. I'm sure you've met him. But,
I must certainly have made his acquaintance.
well, it's a big day tomorrow. I'd like it if you promised me something.
What's that?
I don't know what's about to happen. But just promise me if you make the chance, if you get the chance to make a difference. I mean a real difference. Make it count.
You have my word.
And he gives you a nod, and he literally just steps off of the railing and falls. Just.
Yeah, I'm not gonna question that. He's proven himself to be a sorcerer. I'm sure they can defy gravity.
As he falls, I think I'll try defying gravity. Yeah, so he just falls into the night. He's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Varian kind of pipes up. She's just like, that was strange.
Most certainly. Well, I certainly trust him a bit more now. It's always nice to hear someone's story.
I don't, but my opinion's never mattered anyway.
That's false and you know it.
Sure. So, you sit back down to meditate?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, and that'll just about round out the session, I think. So you meditate happily, and Rin sleeps happily, and Thogak snores happily, and the night passes, and all of you know that in the morning you will be awaking to, if nothing, something.
If nothing, something.
Tomorrow comes the heist. Next week comes the heist, and that's where we'll end the session.
Alright.
Yes, indeed. Kelsey, are you
Fantastic.
alive? I'll take that as no. Yeah, that was a pretty good session.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. A shocking amount of roleplay. I didn't honestly expect to get that much roleplay in tonight.
We demand more roleplay.
Dude, I'm fine with it. It's preferable for me. I just, yeah, that caught me off guard in a good way, I think. Yeah.
Hopefully not as off guard as we'll be finding these guards.
As what?
As we'll be finding these guards.
Oh, they're gonna be pretty off guard, but they're guards. I mean, they've literally got the most boring position in the Thieves Guild, probably.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, but hey, maybe that could work to your advantage. Yeah, needless to say, this will be a session that I have been thinking about for quite some time. Really, I'd say, I mean, at its base, this campaign for me, has been kind of like bullet points, I guess. Certain story beats, that I set aside to try and work to achieve. Obviously based on what you guys choose and stuff. I will say it's worked out quite well so far, but if you can't tell by looking at the D&D playlist, this has definitely been on my mind for quite some time, this next session, so we'll see how it goes. I'm actually quite excited.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We shall.
So where the fuck's Rose? Oh, let me end the stream.
Well, the